Hola estudiantes, ¿cómo están? Espero que están bien. Hola estudiantes, ¿cómo están? Espero que están bien. Alright, so today's lesson is going to be about days of the week and months of the year and how to say the date in Spanish, but it's on a PowerPoint, and unfortunately when I switch to PowerPoint, you're not going to be able to see me, I don't think. So I apologize, but I'm still here, I promise. Alright, here we go. Okay, los días y los meses. All right, hoy es lunes, el 28 de septiembre. So this is what we started out with in class. So go ahead and grab paper and pencil if you want to take notes. And also take note of how I wrote the date up here. Mira cómo escribí la fecha arriba. ¿Cómo es diferente que la fecha en inglés? How is this different than how we write the date in English? Or in here in the United States, look at the numerical format. How is that different? Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Okay. El objetivo de la lección is that so you guys will be able to list the days of the week and months of the year in Spanish and be able to write the date in Spanish. So it seems like a lot, but I know you can do it. Okay, so and just as a brief review, last week we learned numbers from 1 to 30, so los números de 1 a 30. Here they are, just to refresh your memory. If you do need more of a refresher or need some more practice, go ahead and go back to week 3 and get that review. If you want to practice on Quizlet or look at the vocab list or go through the PowerPoints, that is all there for you. Okay. So here we have los días de la semana y los meses del año. And if you are taking notes, remember you can of course pause the video if you need to take a moment to write things down, or you can wait until, because they will be displayed later on all together when we do a couple little review spots. But okay, let's get going. Primero los días. Repitan por favor. Repeat after me. Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. Ok, muy bien, los 7 días de la semana. Y en inglés, el domingo, el domingo es el primer día de la semana. The first day of the week, el primer día de la semana. Pero en español, el lunes es el primer día de la semana. So in English, we have Sunday as the first day of the week, but in Spanish and in Spanish-speaking countries, Monday is the first day. It's considered the first day of the week. El lunes es el primer día de la semana. Y el domingo es el último día de la semana. Así que el lunes es el primero y domingo el último. También el lunes es el primer día de clases. Hopefully you guys don't look like this on the first day of the week, the first day of the school week. But yes, el lunes es el primer día de clases. Y si hoy es lunes, mañana es martes. Si hoy es martes, mañana es miércoles. So here we have a few new words. Si, written without the accent, means if. Hoy is today. Mañana is tomorrow. Like think of the phrase hasta mañana, see you tomorrow, right? Así que si hoy es martes, mañana es miércoles. Si hoy es miércoles, mañana es jueves. Y si hoy es jueves, mañana es viernes, claro. Ok, muy bien. ¿Qué día es hoy? ¿Qué día es hoy? Hoy es domingo. Hoy es miércoles. Maybe it depends on when you're watching this, but today, hoy es lunes. Hoy es lunes para mí, for me. Okay. El primer día de clases es lunes. Y el último día de clases es viernes. So what is último? It's the last, right? El primer día, lunes. El último día, viernes. Y los sábados y los domingos no hay clases. No vamos a la escuela. ¿Está? El sábado y el domingo no hay clases. El fin de semana son sábado y domingo. Repitan, el fin de semana. Okay, así que el sábado y el domingo son el fin de semana. Tengo una pregunta. I have a question. ¿Cuántos días hay en una semana? ¿Cuántos días? ¿Hay 5 días en una semana? ¿2 días? No, hay 7, ¿verdad? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 días en la semana. Ok, muy bien. ¿Y cuántos días hay en un mes? Aquí está el mes de mayo. ¿Y cuántos días hay? Hay 30, 31 o 28 días en un mes. Depende del mes. En mayo hay hay 31 días, pero en febrero hay 28 días. Okay, so we're talking about how many days there are in a month. Okay, here's another difference, another note. En inglés, los días se escriben con mayúscula. Mira, M mayúscula o M grande y T mayúscula o T grande for Monday and Tuesday. Y en inglés, los meses se escriben en mayúscula también. January con J mayúscula y February con F mayúscula, F grande. Pero en español, los días de la semana se escriben en minúscula. Así que L minúscula o L pequeña y M minúscula o M pequeña en martes. En español, los meses del año se escriben en minúscula también. Enero con E chica, E minúscula y febrero con F minúscula. Okay, so to summarize in English, in case you didn't catch that, in English, we always capitalize the days of the week and the months of the year. They always start with capital letters, right? But in Spanish, we do not do this. They are always lowercase. So, lunes and martes for Monday and Tuesday are always going to be lowercase. And for example, this is January and February. That will always be lowercase as well. Of course, the exception is if it's the first word in a sentence. But generally, think lowercase. Okay. El lunes es un día, ¿no? Y enero es un mes. So, un día y un mes. Repaso. Okay, let's review real quick. So again, here on the left, we have our days of the week. Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado y domingo. And here we have some extra vocab. So el día, la semana, hoy, mañana, fin de semana, and then primer and último. Okay. So you can go ahead and write these down if you need to. We're going to move on to los meses del año, the months of the year. Do be very careful, like I've said before, whenever there are accents, or special characters, we need to make sure we include those in our writing and make sure they're reflected in our speech. So el año aquí se escriba con ñ, con la tilde aquí. So this is written with the tilde on the end. Make sure to always include that there, because if you don't, it changes the meaning, and that's not what we're talking about. Okay, los meses. Repitan, por favor. Repeat after me. Enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre y diciembre. Muy bien. Okay, so as you've noticed, these are much more similar to the English words for the months than the days are. So these should be pretty easy to recognize and to remember. Oops, accidentally gave that one away. But, ¿qué mes es este? No es febrero, no es diciembre, es septiembre, este mes. ¿Y en qué mes celebramos Navidad? ¿En enero? ¿En julio? No, en diciembre. En diciembre celebramos Navidad. ¿En qué mes celebramos el Día de Acción de Gracias? El Día del Pavo. ¿Qué mes? En noviembre. ¿Y en qué mes celebramos el Día de San Valentín? El Día de Amor. En febrero. Celebramos el Día de San Valentín en febrero. Ok, repitan por favor la fecha. Repitan, ¿cuál es la fecha? Ok, hoy es el 28 de septiembre. So here this is saying, what's today's date? And it says today is the 28th of September. And I have it written like we do here in the US in English. September 28th, right? Pero en español, we always say it is the, followed by the number, of, followed by the month. So remember, hoy es means today is. So you're not talking about today, it could be any other day. No matter what we're talking about, these four words right here are always going to be the same, or in the same order. So, el número de mes. So the number of, and then whatever month it is. Just a quick side note, for the first of the month, say if it were September 1st, you would still write it with the 1 right here, the number 1. But instead of saying el uno, we say el primero, which means the first. Just like you wouldn't say it's the 1 of September, you'd say it's the 1st of September, right? So you can think of popular holidays that we already know of it that are in this format. So the 4th of July or el Cinco de Mayo. Try to remember that this is always going to be the format that we write our dates in. So if you are taking notes and writing this down, go ahead and note this. El número de mes. Okay. Here's another example, un ejemplo. Mi cumpleaños es el 7 de julio. Mi cumpleaños. My birthday. ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? So think to yourself or jot it down on a piece of paper. When is your birthday? How would you write it out in Spanish? So remember here all of the months. Enero, febrero, marzo, etc. Mi cumpleaños es el 7 de julio. ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? Ok, ¿y cuál es la fecha aquí? Para la Navidad, Christmas, ¿cuál es la fecha? Es el 25 de diciembre, the 25th of September. I'm sorry, not September, December. 25th of December. ¿Y aquí, cuál es la fecha? El 4 de julio, el 4 de julio. ¿Y aquí, el día de San Valentín? Es el 14 de febrero. El 14 de febrero. Muy bien. Okay, la fecha en los países hispanohablantes, the date in Spanish-speaking countries. So we went over how to write it out, but as far as writing the numerical format, so just the numbers, let's compare real quick. So in English, we write it like this, with the month first, followed by the day, and then the year. So September 28th becomes 9/28, 2020. Pero en español, el día va primero. So the day goes first, followed by the month, and then the year. So the September 28th, or el 28 de septiembre, becomes 28/9/2020. You don't have to worry about saying the year right now. We're not up to numbers that big. But just remember, whenever you're writing it, the day comes first. So you could think about it two ways. One, just try to remember that they are flip-flopped. So you just write it backwards from how you normally would, as far as the day and the month. Or you can think about it as going from small to large as far as units of time. So days are smaller than months, are smaller than years. Okay. So given that information, think to yourself or write it down. ¿Cómo se escribe tu cumpleaños en español? How would you write out your birthday in Spanish? Now, mine is easy because my number and month are the same, el 7 de julio. It is written the same in English and Spanish. And then you put the year, which I'm just being sneaky here, not telling you what year I was born. But yes, that's how you would write it. But for example, my sister's birthday, el cumpleaños de mi hermana, es el 8 de marzo. So el 8 de marzo would be written, so March 8th would be written 8/3 and not 3/8, because 3/8 would be el 3 de agosto. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. Let's review once more. So again, we have our days of the week, los días de la semana, lunes a domingo, los meses del año, enero a diciembre, y más vocabulario, more vocab. And we do need to know all of these. So el día, la semana, el año, hoy, mañana, el fin de semana, el primer or el primero, I. So this is one that we haven't gone too much over. You may have heard it used. But if I say hay 7 días en una semana, that's saying there are 7 days in a week. Or if I say ¿cuántos hay? That means how many are there? Okay. ¿Cuál es la fecha? Is what we used to say, what is the date? Or if you want to know what day it is, puedes decir ¿qué día es hoy? And like I said, ¿cuántos or cuántas means how many. And we'll get into more question words later this week. Okay. So I know that was a lot. You do have a board document, Google Doc assignment over the numbers. I'm sorry, not the numbers, the days of the week and the months. I can't talk right now. So I'll go ahead and show you that, and I'll also walk you through the Latin American countries project. Oh, okay, cool. Here I am again. All right. So, vamos a week 4, semana 4. Let's look, while we're still on the days of the week, let's look at this assignment. So there are 3 parts. It is more Spanish heavy than normal. It may be a little bit more challenging, but that's okay. I know y'all can do it. So there are 3 different parts. Part 1, correct the following sentences by changing one word to make it a true statement. Write and complete sentences in Spanish. So your example is, if today is Tuesday, tomorrow is Friday. Si hoy es martes, mañana es viernes. That's not true though, right? So pick a word here to change to make it true. Si hoy es martes, mañana es miércoles, Wednesday. So you're basically just going to copy and paste or retype the sentence that's given and change one word to make it true. Okay, and then we have part 2, answer the following questions in Spanish. So, ¿qué día es mañana? What day is tomorrow? It depends on what day you're doing this, but you're just going to write what tomorrow is. Mañana es lunes. But today, when I'm doing this, hoy es lunes, así que mañana es martes. And for most of these, well, for all of them, I gave you the sentence stem, so you just have to fill in the missing parts. Okay. And then the last part, you're going to write the date out in Spanish by spelling out the number and the month. And remember that the day always comes first, so remember the order. So, el 25 de diciembre. Well, that's what that is going to sound like. You're just going to type it out. So again, I guess the example, 24/3 would be el 24 de marzo. Okay, perfecto. So that's all of that. You have until Sunday night to get that turned in. And again, please reference your notes, the Speaks vocab list, or the PowerPoint to help you figure out anything that you may have forgotten or may not understand. I don't want you plugging things into a translator because that's not going to actually help you. It's not going to help you remember and learn these things. Okay, and then real quick, in case you missed class, I did introduce a research project that we have. It's nothing too intense, but here, if you click on this Google Doc, it'll walk you through everything. Basically, you're going to pick a Spanish-speaking country, research some of the main points, and make a Google slide to present to the class. This will be done in English, so we're focusing on culture here. You don't have to worry about giving a whole presentation in Spanish. But you do have about a week and a half to complete this. Thursday and Friday, depending on if you're an A or B day, will be a work day for this project since we're not going to be meeting over Google Meet. So you have plenty of time to get this done. Same with the los días y los meses assignment. And if you go to stream, each period has their own list of who has which country. So you do get to pick, but I'm trying to avoid having any repeats. So you can always look at this list under stream, pick your country, and either let me know in the comments or email me, and it'll be a first come, first serve basis. Okay, that was a lot. I think that's it for today, but muchas gracias y nos vemos. Hasta la próxima.